Hey, we're standing here in front of the new VG3 series. We're going to go over all the new improvements Roland has put out on this device. So the VG3 and the VG2, there's a lot of differences and not a lot of differences at the same time. So because Roland is a brand that's like, they're focused on quality, they're focused on color, they're not really focused on speed. And a lot of printers who think they're focused on speed, we've realized like they're not running the printers all day long. Where we can speed things up is basically setup, breakdown, things like that. So a few of the cool things they did basically makes setting the printer up faster is like moving the handle over to here. That way when we're on the control panel, we can easily just kind of open and close. Seems simple, but repetitively through a year, you do that same task thousands of times, it saves time. One of the big new like kind of upgrades here is this whole new take-up system. The motor can be moved from side to side here, just like that one too. It makes a weird sound if there's no weight on there. The second it's got a load on there, the sound goes away. But one of the cool things here is this quick release. Instead of like the thumb screws we used to have on the back and front, now we can just quick release that. Same thing front, either side. So that really makes things faster. The sheet cut function is super fast as well. So there's a few things that kind of like make loading faster. Got rid of the doors on here, makes loading inks faster. Some of the big improvements on the printer itself though are these like really giant pinch rollers in here, which we found out makes the material way more stable, kind of eliminates banding and stuff like that in the printer, which we saw sometimes in light blues and light cyans and pretty much any grit roller printer. Got rid of the media clamps, the butterfly media clamps that the sheet cutter was actually going through. So we have these newer, lower profile, flatter media guides with a little optical sensor so it can actually read, make sure the guides are in the right spot now. So those are cool. We got the dust cover on it. The dust cover it's a cool thing to have, but does kind of get in the way of far loading materials. I'm not 100% sure how I feel on that, but luckily it's a quick release thing. You literally have it set up that way. Just unscrew the screws, pops right out. Big feature I think most end users are gonna see is the touch screen over here, which is a really nice interface. We can see all of our inks. We can see our temperatures on the printers. When we send out a job, we'll actually see the job load up here. And then basically all the buttons that we've eliminated are just brought into menus now at this point. But we can see last few alarms. This is saying that we need to do a manual clean. It'll bring us straight to the clean menu instead of having to go to cleaning and then execute that. So menu is pretty cool. It's a whole new system here, but it does open up some more flexibility. Cleaning, we got all the hotkeys down here. Internally, printer's pretty much the same. We're still running the same FlexFire print heads, same basic cutting system. We do have, like I said, a faster sheet cut, and we can actually do perforated sheet cuts, so like leave these little tabs so the paper doesn't drop out when you're doing sheet cuts in between jobs. Over here, again, kind of speeds things up, is we got rid of the cut rail, that little piece of mellows here that would engage the cutter. Now it's being engaged in a different way, so that's one less thing to remove when you're doing cleaning. Still have the lights shooting up at the heads for easy cleaning. Got a little maintenance box. And then the body of the printer got changed up a little bit too. We went back to a flat top. Put stuff up here again instead of that angled slope with the tray and stuff like that. So pretty much the big differences between the VG3 and the 2 series. That's pretty much it. Same true biz inks, and you have the multiple configurations to go with. So not a lot of printers I've gotten excited about recently, but this one, the print quality is just insane. Everything's super easy to use. So pretty damn happy with this printer so far. So yeah.
What about the Roland DG Connect app in regards to the connectivity to the VG3?
The DG Connect app is pretty cool. You put it on your phone, you put it on your computer. It'll basically tell you when anything's going on with the printer. It gives you a grade, a health grade, which is really cool, especially if you got employees running the printer. It'll say, hey, it's got a D because no one's doing maintenance on it or anything like that. Tell you, like, it'll break down the ink levels and all that. And it's, as an end user, you can actually have your customer put in our email, the dealer, in the dealer field, and if something happens to the printer, we can reach out to the customer and say, hey, we saw this happen, we can get a technician out, we can get the motor replaced or something, so the customer doesn't have to worry about calling sometimes. We can see the problem's about to occur So that's a cool thing. That is a privacy thing. So some people will decide to use it with us or not, but ultimately it's a really cool tool as an owner. Just maintain the whole printer and just knowing what your costs are and where your ink levels are and stuff like that. So that is a really cool system. Yeah, we can literally fire it up. It would identify all the printers here that are on the network instantly. So love it.
Has loading media into the newer model printers changed so far?
A little bit. Same thing with the speed on the back. Is not a lot has changed back here, but obviously a little bit. But again, we have the quick release mechanism here where we just have the turn thumb screw, which adds up time. We do have friction rollers now, so it does add a little bit of tension. And we do have a 2-inch and 3-inch core adapter, so that's actually a pretty cool function. Not a lot of medias come on 2-inch, but you might find some specialty stuff that's going to adapt to that. So instead of having to switch the plate out, pretty cool. Oh, and yeah, the whole stand has been reconfigured. We actually have these pinpoint registration points now. So it makes it a little bit more of a pain when we're installing the printer to line these points up exactly. But I got the stand so precise that on the previous generations, we had an adjustment to lift these bars up and down off that side. Not needed anymore because basically how precise everything's loading in. So yeah, another speed and use of ease thing is back here. And all the wiring's kind of cleaned up, changed, simplified on it as well, but not a whole lot of changes, but definitely just, you change medias 3, 4, 5 times a day. It adds up quick and save a lot of time in your work day pretty much now. So,
Nice.
yeah.